Peter here, aka Peter Freakout 10, and it's time for another update. Alright, and boy do we have ourselves a big bag of goodies today. And I feel this wait was worth it. I feel it really was worth it. Because this is stuff that I've accumulated over the past couple of weeks. And today I actually went to the mall and bought some movies and tapes and whatnot. Some of these I've accumulated over the past couple of weeks. The others I bought today. And some of these VHS tapes I bought on the net. Some of these I've actually bought from this cheapo store that I go to. So if you're wondering where I get these VHS tapes from, Amazon or this cheapo store I like going to a lot. Really cool place, Bull Moose. If you guys know of it, if you guys have in your area, definitely check it out. They got some fantastic selections of stuff. Great selections of games, too. That's why I buy a lot, because they're really cheap, and they have a great selection of movies, too. So, yeah. And I also wanted to wait off on doing this, because I like to have a lot to show you guys in a video. So, because this stuff has been bought a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't show it by then, that's because I like to wait for a specific time when I have a lot of stuff so I can combine it all into one big video and really just be like, hey, this is what I got, and really make it worth your time, because I don't like to just have 4 items in a video and just say, that's it, wrap it up, all done, and the people are like, just for just 2 items? I know some people do that way, but I like doing it this particular way. But yeah, all that aside, let's get into the update. Now, in terms of what I got, I have 4 video games. I have 5 DVDs, and 9 VHS tapes. All very cheap, and thank you, Bull Moose, for making them cheap. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought so many. Thank you, Amazon, for having these particular selections. Love you guys, and grateful that you guys had these films, because I've been looking for some of these for such a long time. But let's get into it. Starting off with the games, the first one that I got, this was a particular game that I heard about, and it interested me, and I wanted to give it a shot because I like hack and slashes. Devil May Cry is one of my favorite hack and slashes of all time. The character of Dante is awesome. And this particular game interested me. It's taking that whole hack and slash genre into another series, and I really wanted to see how they do it with this particular series, so I really wanted to give it a try. And I remember hearing about it at E3 2003, so went out and picked it up, and that is Castlevania Lament of Innocence. But have not played this game yet. I've heard really good things about it. Might play it after I reviewed a few games, because as I always say, I don't like to have so many games to play. I like to have beaten a few and then start up a new one, which is what I'm going to do when I start this game. But really looks interesting from what I've seen. The graphics in this game look fantastic. The combos and whatnot. Definitely looks like a good bloody time, almost in the same vein as Devil May Cry. I have not played the other Castlevania games for the NES or SNES, so I don't know if they're similar to that, but definitely think this one looks interesting, and definitely excited to play it when I get around to it, so it's the first thing. And the next 3 I got are football games, and I recently started getting into football, and decided I picked these few up. The first one that I got is most obvious. Need to have this one, and this is one that I figured I'd try out. Definitely they added a lot to this particular one in this particular franchise. I really wanted to see how it is. I remember watching Judgment Day, and they said this is the best sports game ever made. Victor Lucas gave it a 10. Which is pretty rare to see from him. I mean, he has given 10s before to games like Grand Theft Auto 3 and Prince of Persia, but never to a sports game, so I really wanted to try this one. That is Madden 2004. It's for PlayStation 2, but it's also on the Xbox and the GameCube, and even the PC, surprisingly. I'm like, how can you play Madden on the PC? But definitely excited to check this one out. Might start playing it with these other two football games that I got. I'm going to show after I show these and see if I can compare them. But definitely think this one looks interesting. You can actually make your own stadium in this game, so that was pretty interesting. Also, I think there's something else. You can actually, what was that other thing they had? You can actually make prices on, that's what I was thinking of. You can actually make prices on stuff. You can make prices on the parking. You can make prices on the hot dogs there. So definitely looking forward to giving this one a shot. Definitely looks interesting. Definitely looks like the best man game so far. So see how that is when I play it. Here's what it is. And the other one is another football game from a different genre. ESPN NFL Football. I've never played this one. On the same review show, Judgment Day, they did a whole video about football games, and this was another one they talked about. And this one, I think, looked really interesting. I know that there was this gimmick that they had about it, the first-person view with the football kind of helmet cam, which Tommy said he got like motion sickness from. I think this game looks really interesting. Definitely looks really interesting. I don't know if it'll be better than Madden. I'll have to play them to compare them, but still, overall, definitely looks like a fun game. And the last football game I got, I had to get this because I love the EA Sports big games. I have a lot of them so far. And this one in particular, I really wanted to give a shot. I really like the whole idea. It kind of has the same vibe as, say, NBA Street, only it's with football, and that is NFL Street. I actually tried to find this game a couple of weeks ago. I actually picked it up just today, and finally glad that I got it because I really wanted to play this game. I thought it looked awesome. I like the music. You got Executioner, Fuel, Lost Profits, DJ K-Slay, 3-6 Mafia, and many more. Definitely excited to try this game out. It's also, you can also play it online. This looks like a fun game. It's definitely different from those other two that I showed because it's not all like, it's not like the real life football. It's more arcadey and more on the side of it's gotta be more away from reality. It's unrealistic. That's the best word to say. And honestly, I like that whole aspect. I really wanted to see how it's incorporated in this game. So went ahead and picked it up because NBA Street did that perfectly. I want to see if they could do it with football. So definitely excited to check that one out. And those are those football games that I got. And now on to a first-person or third-person shooter. And this is a sequel to a game that I actually bought last year. And I'm still playing the first one. I actually got to beat that one before I play this one. But I wanted to check this one out because I've heard people say this game is an improvement over the first one. I know online play is crazy with this game. So I went and picked it up, and that is SOCOM 2 U.S. Navy SEALs, which is the top PS2 online game. And definitely looks like a fantastic game. From what I could tell, they actually improved the commands, and so your teammates are better to listen. You can actually say to them, "Open this door," and they'll do that a lot better. Where with the first game, they got stuck more in between walls, and so that was annoying. But excited to check this game out. Definitely think it looks interesting. There's more cutscenes integrated to it, unlike the first one, which just had a couple cutscenes. But definitely excited to check this game out. I don't know how it's going to top the first. Definitely going to see how that is. But those are the video games I got. Now onto the DVDs. And the first film that I got was for a film that my cousin actually recommended to me. And I really wanted to see this film because I thought it looked interesting. And I like Tony Scott, who directed one of my all-time favorite action films, The Last Boy Scout, Top Gun. He also directed Crimson Tide, among many other films. I like him as a director. Might see the other films he does in the future. But this is the one that a lot of people seem to remember. This is the one that a lot of people talk about. And it's gained a surprising fan base, even though it did do as well as they hoped. And it's a film that was actually written by Quentin Tarantino, but he sold the rights to Tony Scott. And this is the 2-disc special edition unrated director's cut of True Romance, which is in this cool thing right here. Is that dust? But great cast in this film. I've never seen this film before, so I don't know how it is, but definitely excited to check it out. I like this little tin cover opening thing. I don't know, but I don't know how to say it because it's definitely not tin-like, but yeah, there's a little quote from Quentin Tarantino. People have asked me, so would you ever do a romance movie? Not what I would do. Well, I did a romantic movie, true romance. No, I mean like a real romantic movie. Well, that is a real romantic movie. No, like one without violence. Well, there will be lots of things in any movie I do that will become contradictory. But anybody who's a fan of the movie could tell you the title True Romance is not ironic. This is True Romance, Quentin Tarantino. So, yeah, sorry I'm starting there. But, yeah, great cast this film has. I'm definitely excited to check it out in the future. You got people like Christian Slater from Broken Arrow. He was also in Ferngully, The Last Rainforest. Patricia Arquette, who would later go on to be in Little Nicky. Among many other films. I think she was in the Nightmare on Elm Street 3. You have Dennis Hopper, the awesome Dennis Hopper from Speed. He was in, what was that film? Waterworld. He was also in the Super Mario Bros. Movie as King Koopa. Val Kilmer from The Prince of Egypt, Batman Forever. He was also in many other films. Gary Oldman's also here, Brad Pitt, and the great Christopher Walken from Ants, Joe Dirt, among many others. But definitely excited to see this film. I like this 2-disc edition too. You get deleted and extended scenes with optional director commentary, alternate ending with optional director and writer commentary, selective commentaries with Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, and Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport's in this? I didn't know that. Interactive behind the scenes, featurette, animated photo gallery, vintage 1993 featurette, 2 theatrical trailer and TV spots, cast and crew highlights, and animated interactive highlights. Definitely nice to have this in the collection. Definitely excited to check this film out, seeing as how I've never seen it before, and my cousin has been telling me so much about it. Tonight I'm actually going to be watching Heat, and that'll be a review coming soon. Definitely excited to talk about that. But moving on, the next film that I got to add to my John Woo collection is one of the films that actually got unpopular, and this is another film that I've never seen before, and I wanted to give a try. It's with Chow Yun-fat, and it's called Hard Boiled, which I think was the last film he did in Japan before he branched out into the United States. So definitely excited to give this film a try. I'm not the type of guy to actually watch these type of Japan films, so I don't know how this will be, but definitely excited to check this out. I want to get Killers first and watch that before I watch this, but still definitely excited to check this film out too, but yeah. So that's Hard Boiled. And the next film that I got was another Bruce Willis film. I got like 3 Bruce Willis films, including this one. This is one of the 3. And this is one that was a big hit in 1997 and was considered by many to be the special effects event of the year, even though Spawn tried to do that. This film, a lot of people consider that this film should have got the special effects event of the year. And it's kind of easy to see why. And this is another one of those films that I haven't seen. I wanted to give a shot. Thought it looked really interesting. Bruce Willis in a futuristic world sounded like a good idea. You also have Mila Jovovich from that Resident Evil movie, Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, Chris Tucker's also here from Friday and the Rush Hour movies. And I bet you know what I'm talking about, The Fifth Element. I don't know if this has any special features on it. No, it doesn't. You just get widescreen or full screen format, and that's pretty much it. Seat selection. Not even a 2 theatrical trailer. So, yeah. But definitely excited to check that film out. I think it looks interesting. But, yeah. And the next film that I got, this is, I figured I'm going to start over with reviewing the Eddie Murphy films because I want to do them in order, and I'm going to start with this one. I don't know if I'll review it. I'll start reviewing them next month or pretty soon, but this is the film that this was like his first big movie that he did. This was the film that really put him on the A-list, and this is the film that really got him to where he is now. And if it wasn't for this movie, the career that he has now wouldn't have happened. And I bet you know what I'm talking about. If you guys are a true Eddie Murphy fan, you guys would know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 48 Hours. Directed by Walter Hill, who would later direct one of the films in this pile. He also directed The Warriors, and written by Stephen E. D'Souza, who wrote The Third Beverly Hills Cop. He also wrote Judge Dredd. He wrote and directed the Street Fighter movie, which I actually watched with my cousin. I'll give a review on that, even though people might think I'm crazy. But this is one of the earliest films he did, along with another particular film that I actually bought in this pile. One that I actually plan to watch later on. But this film, I think, looks hilarious. Definitely going to start my Eddie Murphy reviews with this film. Gotta tell you guys what I think of it. Because I honestly think it looks like a really funny film. Nick Nolte, this is when he was going through his drug addiction. You have James Remar, who also had an appearance in Judge Dredd at the beginning. You want to be afraid of someone? Be afraid of me! Wait a minute. Let me do it, man. Hey! You want to be afraid of someone? Be afraid of me! That guy. He's in this film as the bad guy. But definitely looking forward to checking out this film. That's another film I have not seen before, so yeah. And the next film that I got, this is one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's earliest roles, and it's a film that I don't know if many people know about it. Well, I should say, I don't know if many people know about it, because it's one of those films that has gone under the radar, and I don't know if... Well, from around here, I should say. The people I talk to have never heard of this film, and I don't know if it's starting to lose its audience or people still like the film. I'm unsure about that, but this is one that I'm definitely going to give a try. I heard some people like the film, some people hate it. Some people like it but say it's so stupid. This is another one that I haven't seen, so I can't tell, but definitely going to check this film out and tell you guys what I think of it, and that is Commando. With Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ray Don Chong, Alyssa Milano in a young role. She was in an animated film that I have here. And just looks like a fun film. I will say, this looks like a fun film. Arnold, a lot of people say this is Arnold at his best. I'll find out if that's true or not, but definitely looks interesting. Definitely looks like a fun movie. Looks action-packed. And tell you guys what I think of it when I see it. So, that's Commando. Now on to the VHS tapes. And the first film that I got, this is one that was a big thing back in 1999. And it's a film that any teenagers of the 90s has seen and has said, this is teenage movies at its all-time high. And it's one of those movies that really, really steps out of the boundaries of, like, being this whole sort of subtle message about teens. It really takes it to the extreme, almost in the same way American Pie did that same year, and that is Cruel Intentions, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, Ryan Phillippe, who was also in that film, and Reese Witherspoon, who did Fear like 3 or 4 years before. You also have Selma Blair in a young role. It looks like a lot of fun. Well, I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's not a lot of fun because it's definitely a depressing movie. But it definitely looks like a good movie. I might review that soon. I guess what I think of that. And the next film that I got, this is one that I haven't seen before. Could be a good film. My cousin actually said this movie is awesome, so I figured why not pick it up. And he actually picked this out for me and said, like, you need to see it. It's worth owning or buying. So I actually went in and said, okay, I'll pick it up. And that is Backdraft. With Kurt Russell, William Baldwin, Scott Glenn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rebecca De Mornay from Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Donald Sutherland from Virus and Animal House, among other films. Great actor. He's here too. And Robert De Niro, who needs no introduction. Directed by Ron Howard, great director. This looks like an interesting movie. It definitely looks like an interesting movie. I don't know much about it, but definitely we'll figure out if it's good or not. If people, because a lot of people have said they like this film. I don't know what it's about. If you guys know what it's about, tell me in the comments below. But definitely looking forward to checking this film out when I see it. Definitely looks like a good movie. And the next film that I got, this is a film directed by Robert Rodriguez, an early film that he did. And I know this is the sequel to a particular film. I'm not going to watch this film until I've seen the first one. And it stars Antonio Banderas, Selma Hayek, and that is Desperado, the sequel to El Marchia. But definitely looks like an interesting movie. Looks like a lot of fun. Action-packed. This is when Antonio Banderas could be taken seriously with films like this, Assassins and whatnot. Nowadays he's stuck doing Spy Kids, which is embarrassing. I mean, I like the first Spy Kids. The second one, I don't know about the third one because I've heard junk about it. But this is him at his best. I'm going to say it right now. This is Antonio Banderas at his best. So, yeah, definitely really excited checking that film out. And the first one, too. But, yeah. And the next film I got, this is a Keanu Reeves movie. And this is, to some people, I know this film has a cult following, but I'm going to check it out in the future. This is, to some people, the low point of his career. And it's the one, if you talk to anybody, they'll say, like, oh yeah, that movie. I have met some people that do like this film. I wanted to check it out too, but it's one of those movies that a lot of people seem to trash upon. They'll go like to the extreme on it, but I wanted to check it out and see if it's any good. From what I've seen of the trailer, it looks very good. It has a good cast in it, and that is Johnny Mnemonic, which I like this cover. I gotta say this. I like this particular cover. I like this cover with the whole thing right there with the orange face. Put the tape in there. It's actually his face is orange. And the back is actually the back of his head. But really interesting film. This is actually directed by Robert Longo, who was a painter. And this is the only film he's directed. But has a great cast. You have Keanu Reeves. You also have Dolph Lundgren, Takeshi, Ice-T's in this film too. Dina Meyer. You also have Henry Rollins from the Rollins Band is here. He's also in Jackass. But definitely looks like an interesting movie. Even with the cult following this film has, I'm still willing to check it out, even though it has its haters. But definitely looking forward to check it out. This film definitely looks like a fun little movie, fun action movie. Now we get into a couple Bruce Willis films that I got. And the first one that I got, this is, without a doubt, one of his most overlooked films, his most underrated films, which is sad, because from what I've seen of this film, it looks fun, definitely looks well made, and it's Bruce Willis in a Western, which we don't see very often. It has a great cast here, and definitely one that I'm looking forward to checking out. I know Roger Ebert put this on the list of one of the worst of 1996, which I don't get. He put High School High on there too. I don't get that either. But who am I to know? But definitely want to check this film out, and that is Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis, Christopher Walken. You also have Alexandra Powers, David Patrick Kelly from The Warriors, Carita Lombardo, and Bruce Dern. So, great cast. And just, all around looks like a fun movie. Looks like a fun Western. Definitely looking forward to check it out. I might review that around the time when Red Dead Revolver comes around the corner for me. But yeah. Another Bruce Willis film, and this is one that seems to rack up a lot of hate, because it's a remake of a 1960 film that everybody really enjoyed. And this is one that, honestly for me, we guys saw the cover, but it's The Jackal. This is one that honestly for me I think looks interesting. This is another film that my cousin said was actually pretty good, so I'll judge it for myself and actually see if I like it or not. But you have a great cast: Bruce Willis, Richard Gere. You have J.K. Simmons, Sidney Poitier, Diane Verona, Jack Black in a small role. Which, if you talk to anybody about this film, chances are they'll remember this film all because of the scene with Jack Black. Definitely looking forward to checking that film out. But yeah. And the next one that I got, this is to add to my Stallone collection, and it's one of his most famous films. Definitely one of this particular director's most famous films. And I like this director. I do admit he's starting to get a lot of hate. And this is one of those films that, when it came out, got so much praise, and everybody's parodied it. It's one of those films that has been parodied to death, almost as much as the spaghetti scene in Lady and the Tramp. This is another one of those films, but really wanted to see this film. I've never seen it before, so now I think it's the perfect time, and that is Cliffhanger. Classic, from what I've heard. You got John Lithgow from Shrek, Michael Rooker from Mallrats. He's going to be in that Chronicles of Riddick video game. Definitely going to check that out. You also have Janine Turner, Leon Paul Winfield, and Ralph Waite. Actually shot in the mountains, so it looks fantastic. An avalanche of thrills. We'll see when I see it. Gotta review the Stallone movies in order, so get to this when we get to it. But looks like an interesting movie. Definitely looks like an interesting movie. From what I've heard, it's Die Hard in a mountain. So, yeah. And the next film that I got, and Jurassic Godzilla fan, definitely picked this up because you made me want to. Searched high and low for this particular film, and it's one that I know you bought the action figure for, and this is another one of those films that I've seen snippets of. It was never one of those films that I was sort of like, yeah, I gotta see that film. I really gotta see it. But from what you've said about it, made me want to check it out, so I went out and picked out the VHS tape. They actually had it at Bull Moose for like a couple cents, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna snag it. Along with the few other films that I got, so went out and picked it up, and it looks interesting. Definitely looks like one of those Toy Story live action films that I know that Siskel and Ebert compared it to, but definitely looks like a fun film. Definitely gotta check it out. My review for the summer, and definitely a great cast too. But you guys might not know what I'm talking about. Small Soldiers, but. Directed by Joe Dante, who actually directed Gremlins. He also did, what was that other film? Looney Tunes Back in Action, Gremlins 2, among other films. So I like Joe Dante. Kind of has the same idea as Gremlins, so yeah, guys will notice a few similarities. But great cast. You got Kirsten Dunst in a young role, Gregory Smith, Jay Moore, Phil Hartman in his last role before he was killed. Rest in peace, Phil. Jay Moore, Kevin Dunn. Actually, I said Jay Moore. Kevin Dunn from that one Godzilla movie. You also have Dennis Leary here, Frank Langella, and Tommy Lee Jones as the villain, who actually played another villain in Under Siege. Gotta talk about that film another time, but yeah, definitely looking forward to checking out this film. From what he said about the film, really interested me, so I figured why not check it out. I'm going to do a review on it sometime in the future. So, yeah. And the last tape I actually got, this is a sequel to a film that I absolutely adore. I actually have it up there. I'll show it after I show this one. Might review it for Valentine's Day. Might review it this year or next year. I don't know. But I want to check this one out. I remember hearing about it. It wasn't like one of those films that I was actually kind of like, yeah, I got to see it. I was just so in love with the original film that I was just sort of like, you know what, I have the original, I don't know why they need to do this film, and also the fact being that this was made decades afterwards, and when you see the trailer and they're playing the song She Daisy, I'm like, good song, but does it fit the movie? But I wanted to check it out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know the first one is superior in many, many ways, but I think this sequel could bring out. I like some of the Disney films, but that is Lady and the Tramp 2: Scamp's Adventure. I know it's not the same voice cast from the first film, but I still want to check it out. I also know the animation is as good as the first, but I wanted to check it out. Definitely looks interesting. Good cast, too. You actually have Scott Wolf from that god-awful Double Dragon movie. You have his girlfriend at the time, Alyssa Milano, who was in Fear. She was also on that show Charmed with Rose McGowan. You also have Chaz Palminteri in this film, who I like as an actor. It's actually surprising hearing him here. Mickey Rooney's here. Great cast, though. Very good cast. I know it's not going to be as good as the first. I'm definitely going to say that right now. It's definitely might not be as good as the first, but it's still maybe a good sequel. If you guys have seen it, tell me what you guys think of it. I actually have, as I said, I have the first one right here. I know this one, because this film's a classic. I'm going to get that out right now. That film is every definition of the word classic, but I'm keeping an open mind to this. It's gonna be hard. If I don't like it, I'm gonna try not to rant on it, seeing as how it's a kids' film. I mean, I'll be nice to a kids' film, but I'm not gonna go hard and be like, oh, it's a piece of junk. I'm not gonna do that, because at the end of the day, it's a kids' film, and I'll be glad that I saw it, because let's face it, there's so much worse than this. There's other Disney sequels that are worse than this. Hunchback 2, or Cinderella 2, or Beauty and the Beast 2. Those movies are much worse than this. Because from what I've seen, this movie actually respects the original. But, let's see when we see it. But that is the update that I've had today. Great pickup from the past couple of weeks. Just getting these in order. I'll focus on them after the video. But great update from the past couple of weeks. If I get any more stuff, I'll wait for a video to do it. But yeah, definitely, I'm happy with this pickup. Had a great round and whatnot. If you guys have seen any of these films, tell me in the comments below what you guys think of them. And that's pretty much it. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.